Hey, what's up guys? Here in the forest, we're gonna be doing the ultimate Galaxy versus iPhone camera comparison test. This is exciting because the Samsung Galaxy S10 now has 3 cameras, 2 in the front, and there is an extensive difference between the iPhone XS Max with its wimpy 12 megapixel camera and the 3 camera 16 megapixel ultra wide beast, the Galaxy S10. Okay, just all of that aside, let's see, is this a genuinely good camera? That's just the point of this video. Am I gonna get some good footage that I would actually like to use on a day-to-day basis compared to the iPhone? Because at the end of the day, do megapixels even matter that much? It's literally about the sensor size, how it accepts light, how the low light is, flash photography. All of those things matter to me more than, numbers on paper. So in this video, we're just gonna go around the Pacific Northwest and we're gonna check out, is the Galaxy S10 Plus camera better than the iPhone XS Max, and why and how? All right, let's get to it. Here in the forest, I don't know what this guy's doing, but let's get out of here. All right, look at that scenery. Of course, with Oregon roads, I can give you a really good stabilization test here without lifting a finger in the car.
It's not Oregon.
So we're on our way to Japanese Gardens, almost there. Always a favorite place if you want to come down to Portland.
How have you been liking the S10 Plus now that you switched? Like, what's it like from your initial impressions on the viewfinder?
It's once the rough edges are gone, I've set it up. It's pretty good. You gotta get in the left lane right now, by the way.
Whoa, look at those! Wow,
yeah. This is a magical place.
Dude, Pacific Northwest does not joke around.
Nope. It's beautiful. All right, we got my boy Keaton over here. What do you think?
New phone, who dis?
You belong in an urban jungle. This is completely out of your element.
Japan. You've never been to Japan, but this is home for me.
I love it. I want to go to Japan so much more now. All right, so I'm glad you wore some purple pants because that's contrasting heavily.
I just wore some hiking shoes today, just no big deal.
Oh yeah, hiking indeed. Ooh.
It just has that zen aesthetic.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how the audio will sound both on the XS Max and the Galaxy S10 Plus. In the past, the Galaxies have been better than the iPhone, so I hope that tradition continues.
And I'll be doing a camera test with the S10e versus the 10R, if you guys want to know.
Just from what I'm seeing through the viewfinder here on the display, the colors seem to pop more, as they always do in a Samsung fashion.
Oversaturated?
Oh, maybe oversaturated. Maybe just tweaking it a little so it's more pleasant to see later. All right, so some movement here. You can definitely see that the stabilizer on the S10 is working in overtime. That's a beautiful shot.
So what do you think, Philip?
I mean,
they look pretty good. I mean, what do I think is what I should be really saying, right?
Galaxy saturates them a bit, but
yeah, your jacket really pops. It doesn't look kind of like the highlighter yellow. Looks more just kind of like a Crayola yellow. Yeah. But on the iPhone, it looks a little bit more true and real, kind of with that neon effect.
And that's what the iPhone has always been so great about, is realistic colors. Is it never tries to make the colors anything more than they are.
And it's softer too. You don't really have that sharpness either.
Yep. So look at this. Like, truthfully, looking at this, there's a lot of green, but it's a very dull scene. There's not a lot of color.
So sharp on the S10 Plus though, man. It looks way better. It just is softer on the XS Max. That's what you get with the Apple profiles, but it's all kind of really a personal preference.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
It's my first time seeing it too, so I'm just in awe.
Let's do a zoom test. We get in real close here. Galaxy, I think, has far superior macro. Look at those details. Oh my goodness.
Dude, looks like we're National Geographic.
Literally, it helps you become a pro without even trying too hard. But look at the colors.
And from looking at it behind the phone, what colors do you prefer?
Without a doubt, the Galaxy, they just look more pleasing, but it's not real. That's what I can tell you. From what my eyes see, that's not real. Huge difference. All right, so I got Keaton bustling over there. I'm gonna try out the zoom test. This is 2x zoom. The stabilizer doesn't seem that great on the iPhone. Like, just handheld as you normally would, the Galaxy is so stable and sharper, without a doubt. The megapixel count here really adds up. So let's take this further. All right, 5x zoom enabled, without a doubt, more stable, sharper.
Philip,
what?
There's someone looking at us that I think might be working.
It's okay. All I'm doing is filming.
It looks really beautiful. colors pop. What did it look like in the zoom test? Could you see me?
Way sharper on the Galaxy S10 for sure. I'm not sure if this is real, but looks like your face is overexposed on the Galaxy. I don't know.
Tap to focus.
And then this is the ultra wide, just to give you an idea here. Standard, ultra wide. You can get so much in this shot, it's ridiculous. Like those crazy picture angles I usually wouldn't be able to get, the Galaxy allows for now. I like that a lot. All right, I think it's very important to have a great front-facing camera. Look at the facial features, the lighting, the dynamic range even. Like, look in the background. Well, actually, they're pretty close in the dynamic range. But in terms of color, just capture, I can hold the Galaxy right around the same distance from my face, and it'll still capture more. I love that. Now, those little details, they do add up. Quality, without a doubt, is good. Like, on both, but the Galaxy takes the cake here. You have the two lenses, you have the higher megapixel count, that stacks up. So Apple is lacking on the selfie camera. I think they need a big redo there. So by default, HDR is enabled, but HDR10 Plus is a separate option. Let's see if you guys will be able to tell the difference here. And again, you do need a display that enables this, but this takes that color and saturation to a whole nother level. So look at how flat the iPhone looks, whereas this picks up all those extra details and colors. Only if your monitor is supported, of course, but there is a huge difference just from the displays. Like look at this flat looking bush on the iPhone, boring. Over here, so much color and vibrancy. But again, it's not very real. It's pleasing, but it's not real. All right, so giving you some low light perspective here, we went to downtown to take a look at the giant neon sign in Portland, Oregon. And I gotta tell you this, and this is something that stumped me with the S10. Every single time when filming, the footage looks better on the Galaxy S10. And I think that's due part because of the incredibly great Super AMOLED display. It helps you just bring most of the vibrancy out of the shot without looking at it on an objective monitor. But actually looking over the footage, what I can tell you is that the detail definitely, you can see more on the Galaxy S10. The megapixel count certainly does help here, but overall just clarity and the color quality at night, it's very hard to say. All right, front facing, and this is, whoa, the color temperatures here are completely different. So I'm gonna contrast myself with the light here. Oh my gosh, is it just me or is the Galaxy camera super bad? That's weird. You would think it'd be better. Contrast against this scene here.
Hold it.
I don't know. On this screen it seems very interesting, but I'm curious to see on the computer with the proper display what it'll look like. I expected a little better from what I'm seeing here though. Noise on both, but to me the iPhone looks more pleasing at this point. It's too cool. That's not the true colors here in Portland. It's way too cool. My yellow isn't even popping properly. So here's some nice variety. Had my V4 Speciale picked up today. Thank you, Moto Corsa. We got some beautiful juicy red in here. The Galaxy certainly picks that up very vibrantly. Different than the iPhone, that's for sure. Definitely like the contrast here. And next up, I wanted to show you the focus test, responding to a new subject in the frame right away. And I gotta tell you, both had very great difficulty when there's a lot going on in the background. I had to bring this Galaxy S10 up real close to the camera to get it to even register. Now with a different backdrop, not so much going on, both were very good. It's hard to tell a difference between the two even. I'd say the autofocus is up to par on both. There's not one I preferred in any way for any particular reason. Both were able to recognize the subject in frame, respond accordingly in a timely manner. So focus is good on both, I can say. Now this is where things get interesting. Flash photography. I think this is a very big one. Both companies have worked extensively to get their flash up to par with modern standards, and each has their strengths from what I've noticed. So the Galaxy S10's flash is brighter. It has less flash units than the iPhone, but ends up being more bright. But the problem with that is sometimes the subject would get overexposed. Red eyes were more common on the Galaxy S10 for me personally. When the subject was further back from the camera and you needed to use flash, the S10 definitely, I was glad I had that one for that particular situation. Take notice of the skin tones. The iPhone definitely managed that much better, I'd say. The skin came out looking much more natural. It doesn't look so much like there's this bright glaring flash on your face. And front-facing cameras in the dark, this is all right on both pretty crappy. Now, actually, you take some photos, some portrait photography. I gotta say, both cameras do have their strengths. The Galaxy, with that wide-angle lens, you're able to capture more and crazier shots. both are different. The iPhone, you got to get closer in certain shots. The Samsung Galaxy, you can stand and get such a better picture framing in general, and with zoom especially. You're able to zoom in and get a clearer, sharper picture on the Galaxy just because it has that megapixel count, and the stability was pretty decent all around on both. But I wouldn't say any camera is bad by any means. It's just you might be getting a slight edge on one just because it's newer in particular. So wrapping this up, just like to say what I liked about each camera the most. The Galaxy, definitely the ultra wide lens was amazing. The framing with it was great. On the iPhone, I definitely appreciated the attention to color tone and facial highlighting. Definitely, that one was a strength for it. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you learned something with this camera comparison. Leave your comments down below.